How's it going, everybody? I want to share with you that my new music video for the song Free World Citizen is finally coming out. It's going to premiere on June 15th via True Fire Riff magazine in the edition of 50 Gifted Songwriters You Should Know. So mark your calendars for June 15th. Check out True Fire Riff magazine, and the official single is going to be coming out on June 21st, so we're going to let it sort of spin for a week. And since it's through a Riff magazine that we're premiering it, I thought that I would show you the riff. I'm going to break it down. I am in standard tuning, drop D, capo on the 3rd fret. So basically it's like a drop F, and here's the riff. There's a couple little different techniques that we're doing here. I've got a little slap technique that I'm doing here, which is one of my favorite techniques to do. And you could just sit there for a long time and practice this. The idea is I'm going to let my right hand, and classical they would call it P-I-M-A, Pima, so that's a thumb, P-I-M-A, and I'm actually letting each one of those fingers be assigned to a string, each one of those fingers. So I've got my thumb on the low E string, and then an I-M-A on these 3 strings. So the first part of the riff is basically, if you were to think of taking like a D shape without the top note, and because I'm not playing that string anyway, I don't really need to use it. So I'm going to break it down into, that's the first part of it. So it's, you could just practice this for a while. You could even practice just changing the notes to a flat 7. After you do this for a while, you can add the bass note on the and of 4. And 1, 2, 3. So after you get that down, you basically have the groove of the song. Next thing that we do is we take this little slide that happens. We go open on the A string, we go open 2, slide to 3. And then our index and middle, the I and M, on the right hand are going to play the open D and G string. So it goes like this. And then we're going to slide backwards the same way. So we go 3, 2, open. So it's right. Then after that, we're going to go back down to the low E string, and we're going to go 3, 4. And then open with the D string on the I finger. So the whole riff is, play it a couple more times. With the first part we have, second time, I'm going to take what would be sort of like, if we were thinking without the capo, I'm going to say that this is the 3rd fret, open 2, 3, be kind of like a C bar chord. But instead of playing the bar, I'm just going to take out all those notes that I don't need, and I'm going to play just these 3 notes, and I'm going to actually slide up. So it goes like this. The second time I play both of these strings at the same time. So here it is again. So that's the main riff here. It is sped up a little bit. A lot of the rest of the song is a lot of strumming. In the middle of that riff, I go to a 4 chord because I'm in drop D, so I'm using this shape. It's actually, and I've got the pinky on top, so it's like a 9, and then a flat 7, which is like a C shape. So it kind of goes in between. So here's the whole verse. It's, I'm a passenger on planet Earth. I belong to the universe. Got a body made of flesh and bones. Got a past that I'm free to roam. Climb the stairs, make my way to the stars above. Yeah, I'm a member in the state of love. I'm moving at the speed of light. Got a ticket to paradise. All along these heavenly streets, see your light shining back at me. All my brothers and sisters gathered here. My heart is open and my mind is free. So there's one thing in the verse that happens that I didn't tell you, which is the transition into the 4, where we go. So we're gonna go. So I didn't explain that too well, but hopefully you got it. Now on the chorus of the song, I'm going back to that 4 chord, and I'm gonna switch to which I'm gonna call it a 1/3, like an F over A chord, and then I'm gonna go here. So it's like a 4 chord in F over A. My shape is 3, 1, 2, 4, and kind of like a pretty little 2 minor chord, and then we go to a 6 minor chord where I'm keeping that open string on top. And the strum pattern is very... The only thing different that happens is on the last time it's going to go, instead of to here, we're going to go to a major 2. So I'm kind of barring these 2 notes with my 2nd finger, then I put my 3rd finger on the D string, 1st finger on the G string, so it's, and then I'm going back to the 4 chord, and I have that same shape going, and I've got the open strings on top. So the whole chorus is, I'm one of 7 billion pretty white lights here spinning, moving in circles around the sun. I am the sea, the mountain, I am the here, the now, and I'm in every grain of sand. I am free world citizen. Here we have little kind of groovy thing happening, so I'm basically just keeping this. It's like a 16th note thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I'm strumming, my whole thing is to really try to think about always keeping the downbeat so that you can keep your groove on the downstroke. So even if you're doing this like float technique with your strum, to just keep that downbeat, so as if you're tapping your foot, so you have like slow down, it would be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. See, I'm only playing the 1 right now. 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4. So then you can sort of throw in the extra notes if you want, but you always have that downbeat and that groove happening with your hand. This is your timekeeper. So that's really important when it comes to strumming. With the left hand, what I'm doing in that section is I'm doing an F shape on top, just these 3 notes, and then I'm going to an E flat shape, a little B flat shape, which is like the D form, and then I'm going to another F shape, and then an E flat, and then another, well, it's technically an F chord with the D form. So we have... So that's that section, and we do a little strum. And another section that we have is also the bridge. On the bridge, we're going to do the, it's kind of like an F shape, but instead of playing F, sorry, my guitar's going out of tune because I'm standing outside by a creek. So it's kind of like an F shape, and I've got my 4th finger replacing what would be the 3rd, and then I'm going to put my 3rd finger on top. So that's the shape. It's a finger 3, 4, 2, and then the bar on 1. So I'm going to do that all the way up on the flat 7 chord on an E flat, and then I'm going to go down 1 half step with my 3rd and 4th finger, and I'm going to change the shape to 3, 4, 2. So it's, and then I go to a flat 3 chord, which is on the 3rd fret. So it's, and then back, and then we go back into that little funky thing. So it's, so that's the bridge, and I'm going to show it to you all in context in a second. There's 2 other little sections. There's also the little riff that happens. The riff is actually a really fun part of the song, which I always have fun doing. You start on the open D string, and you kind of play the 2nd fret and slide up to the 4th fret, and I'm using the back of my nail so I can get this kind of picking sound. So I'm going open 2, and then slide up to 4, up stroke with the nail pick, open string on the 3rd string. So, and then we're gonna do it backwards, 4, 2, open. So, you can just do that for a while if you're practicing. And then we're gonna go back to the A string and play the 3rd fret. 3, open, 2, open, then on the D string, 3, open, 2, open. So it's, I'm going to break it down a little bit slower. It goes, and that's pretty much the entire song. The only difference is on the very last chorus I do a little bit of a breakdown, and this is actually a really cool right hand pattern. And what I'm doing is I'm actually taking the same chords that I'm playing in the chorus, and I'm actually doing this interesting concept with my right hand. Is I'm basically going 1 and 2. I have these I, M, and A fingers on the top strings now, and I'm going thumb, 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 and then switching the chords. Notice the notes change when I change the chords, and I've got some kind of little fluttery thing happening with these 3 fingers. To be honest, I don't ever do it exactly the same way, so you can try it your own way if you feel like playing this. The pattern would be, what I'm doing is I'm kind of going back and forth between the thumb and some of the other fingers, so you can practice P, I, P, M, P, I, P, A. Basically going back and forth between thumb I, thumb M, thumb A, thumb M, thumb I, and some kind of variation in between. Slower, it's told you I don't ever do it the same way twice, but that's alright. Good enough for rock and roll. So I'm gonna play the song for you now, and just gonna grab a sip of water here. I'm here at my beautiful log cabin up in North Carolina, and I could not feel more grateful. Hence the title, Free World Citizen. So here's the song, and thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not subscribed already. And here's the whole song. I hope you watch the premiere of the video on June 15th. Appreciate you watching, and once again, actually I haven't said this yet, if you do feel like playing or singing this song, I encourage you to try it in different keys. I love covering songs of other artists, and one thing that I always find is that I really, it's extremely necessary to try it in different keys, especially for me trying to sing something from a male artist or something. So I hope you got something out of this, and you can take some of these patterns and work with it, and probably write your own riffs. Take some of the concepts. It's kind of the greatest thing that I ever learned about music and the guitar, is that if you want to, instead of learning how to do 12 things one way, try one thing 12 ways. So, you know, take these patterns, mix them up, try them over different chord progressions, try different rhythms, try a 16th note feel versus a triplet feel. See what you can do to change it up and make it your own. And as you're practicing these as concepts, then you might end up coming up with your own riffs and your own songs, which is really the whole point. And that's why I like learning other people's songs, so that I can take the concepts and sort of learn something new to add to my vocabulary. So thanks for watching. Here's the song, Free World Citizen. I'm doing a little groove at the beginning. When I play it live, it's... On planet Earth, I belong to the universe. Got a body made of flesh and bones. Got a past and I'm free to roam. Climb the stairs, make my way to the stars above. Yeah, I'm a member in the state of love. I'm moving at the speed of light. Got a ticket to paradise. Along these heavenly streets, see your light shining back at me. All my brothers and sisters, get it here. My heart is open and my mind is free. Oh yeah, I'm one of 7 billion pretty white lights here spinning, moving in circles around the sun. I am the sea, I belong to the universe. Got a body made of flesh and bones. Got a past and I'm free to roam. Climb the stairs, make my way to the stars above. Yeah, I'm a senator in the state of love. I'm one of 7 billion pretty white lights here spinning, moving in circles around the sun. I am the sea, the mountain, I am the here, the now, and I'm in every grain of sand. I am a free world citizen. Oh yeah, free world citizen. I'm in a world without borders, breaking through law and order. I am a woman in a free land, free world citizen. I'm one of 7 billion pretty white lights here spin, moving in circles around the sun. I am the sea, the mountain, I am the here, the now, I'm in every grain of sand. I am one of 7 billion pretty white lights here spinning, moving in circles around the sun. I am the sea, the mountain, I am the here, the now, I'm in every grain of sand. I am a free world citizen. that is Free World Citizen. I hope you guys learned something from it. There's not a trash can ending in the music video. Check out the premiere on June 15th, and feel free to leave some comments if you learned something from this, or tell me what you want to learn next, and I'll try to do some more of these. Cheers!